it's time to get back on the bug. It's time to bleed the brakes.
I got nothing.
Just quit suffering from Chinesium. We're making gains here. Everything in here is tight. Look at this. This thing's kind of a complex little deal.
I don't think I can fix that at this point.
Another beautiful day in Havasu. Back on the old Beetle. Makay stopped by. What are you doing? Y'all moved in?
Pretty much.
Yeah. I asked him this morning if he had his welder hooked up, and he said not yet, but he has the ability to. So Makay moved and got himself a swimming pool. Moved across town and got himself a pretty cool little hut. We'll check that out one day. But anyway, we're trying to prepare the engine compartment for the engine, because we pulled the engine out the other day. And
Yeah.
where'd you get that haircut?
Downtown.
You paid money for that?
I did, actually.
He paid money for that. Anyway, we'll get started on this thing and take you guys along. Well, it's time to get back on the bug. Today we're going to finish going through the brakes. We got all 4 wheels to do, a couple lines to replace, some hoses, and then, I don't know, maybe I'll get Makay to come help me and we'll stab the motor in it like tomorrow or the next day. Clean up the wiring a little bit, get the fuel system up and running. Yeah, we'll have the little Beetle to where that it'll move under its own power. So let's just get started. Well, that was a lot of work. Now it's time to bleed the brakes. You gonna pump my brakes for me?
I'm gonna pump your brakes.
Alright, let's get that door open there. There's no seat. You can do it by hand or you can do it with your hoof.
Okay, go ahead and pump slow. I got nothing. I got no air. Let air out one time and then quit.
There's really no resistance at all.
That's weird that it let so much out right the first time and then it quit. It just quit taking fluid.
It's not taking fluid in.
It went down a little bit. Go ahead and push down on it.
Down.
That off? Let me see if I can put a little air pressure to it or something. Suffering from Chinesium. Pedals all the way back, pull back on it.
Yep.
I can't even pressure bleed it. Step down on it one time.
You gonna pull it back?
Let off. That's weird. Weird.
Is clogged?
Huh?
Is the line clogged?
It's brand new. Everything's brand new. Brand new master cylinder, brand new everything.
Pull back, Larry.
Almost like it blowed the master cylinder out itself.
Okay, we're making gains here. I have a gas tank welded up, and McKay's got a fuel pump mounted here. And I was just telling him with this tank out how easy this fuel pump is to get to. And he was telling me how it's going to be changed after the tank's put in.
Yeah. Side of the road, in the dirt, with this jack through this little hole.
Well, at least it's better than this hole. This is how you do airplanes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually
But you got to get both your hands in there.
in that hole.
Yeah.
Yeah. No thanks there. No thank you. So yeah, we're gonna get the fuel pump in and put a motor in tomorrow morning, and I don't know, get it back on the ground. Well, it's another beautiful day in Havasu. Got the dune buggy out. Kay's still here, and it's cooling off.
Yeah.
Like this is like our first real day door open. What's it gonna be? 88 today?
84 today.
84 for a high today, and it was like 67 this morning when I woke up. I was like,
I opened the garage door and opened the back door to air out the garage so it would be cool. And it's like,
it's
it's
brisk.
almost chilly.
Yeah, yeah. 67. It's almost chilly. Anyway, we're gonna get the motor in this hot rod. I stripped the carburetors off this morning, nice, bright and early. But we're just gonna get started and get the motor put in and start hooking some things up. Now that we got the brakes working, that was a fiasco, but we got it all ready to roll. These early Volkswagens, these early body style Volkswagens, they are tight. Everything in here is tight.
There's this much room
I don't even think
for
there's
this
that much.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like they are tight down in here. So can you see the throttle bearing back here? That's what I need you to pay attention to. We got to get back far enough we can get up on that.
Okay.
You ready to come up?
Yeah.
You close?
Hold on. I think we're going to pull it in the back.
Huh?
I think we're over the lip of it.
Yeah, we got to get well past it to where it'll slide back on, and then we can jack up. We there yet?
Yeah. Then we can come forward.
It's kind of an all. Yeah, we're way too high, I think. You know what? The update is this motor was a son of a gun to put in. Okay? That little
Far from fitting.
contest they do where they change one in 4 minutes. Not this one. Not this one. Not this one ever.
Yeah, we need to take that to them. And
Yeah, I'd like to see them put this in just a few minutes. Like, I can't even get this carburetor in the hole. Like, they just don't even want to go in here. Like, just nothing on this thing is easy.
small. Big motor, small hole.
You know what? There's a lot going on in this little car. This was tight. This exhaust is still hitting. But we're gaining. We'll probably have it running later today. Well, it's another beautiful day in Havasu. And then hoodlums show up,
Yeah,
Clayton and Lucas.
Couple hoodlums.
Yeah. In this.
Yeah, she's a little dirty.
Look at this. Oh my gosh. Dude, you know how hard these are to come by?
Well, you need it.
Oh yeah. Look at that. They got measurements on here and all kinds
Yeah,
of
where they're
stuff.
trimming stuff up, and I got you some running boards. It is a two-fold, so you're good there.
Two-fold running boards. Kevin, he
He hooked you up.
hooked up.
And I got you some glass down there, and we
Nice.
buried your deck lid, but then he sent you a special project.
Got another project.
Oh yeah, let's see that.
I'll set this thing off to the
Yeah,
side.
just set that right here on the ground. The oh yeah, did good on the glass.
Mhm.
Did good.
Yeah, I just set that on there. And your deck lid came with hinges.
Nice.
Okay.
Wow, that's a pretty cherry deck lid.
It's not in bad shape.
Yeah, he was saying it was
He called it roached, but
yeah, he
for
was
what
saying
you're doing,
he was saying skunky, but I guess it's you know, just
so we got your next project.
look at
Merlin.
this.
So
Look
you
at
know,
this.
the VW Fender mini bikes. Now you got a head start. So
Wow.
So 2 rear fenders, 2 front fenders.
So he was saying something about his buddy started this project.
Yeah, and then kind of got put by the wayside because they got so busy building more parts, so they didn't have time to finish it up. So he said, "That's the job for you."
Yeah, that'll be fun. I don't know what we're gonna do with it. We'll find something fun to do with it. But
Mini bike and little Briggs and Stratton, and there you go. Maybe we find a small diesel motor for it.
I don't know. I think we should put a flat 4 in it.
Okay. Yeah, that's easy enough. Just chain drive it. Sideways chain drive like a motorcycle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, 2 pieces of glass, and then there's a whole bag of goodies. He sent you some crappy steering wheel because he says you like those so much.
I do. Love those. That's like good stuff right there. It's even got a VW adapter. It's kind of. I like to see how they drilled. We're gonna go wide 5, but we're gonna just put 4 in it.
And
I like that. Oh, you got me a glove box.
There's your ashtray.
Oh, look at that, the holy grail.
And I believe the handle's in the bag inside the ashtray.
Oh yeah, some
There's your
covers.
Pope nose.
The Pope's nose. So everybody calls this the Pope's nose. Why do they call this the Pope's nose? I look like a pope.
You're getting early for Halloween.
So this goes right on here. And that's your license plate light, Basil. Oh, look at that.
And it has the correct latch and everything else.
It's even green.
Yeah.
I might not even paint it. I might just wax it and put it on.
Who knows?
Put a VW sticker on it or something.
Yeah, there's a bunch of miscellaneous stuff in here.
Yeah, I see those.
There's your regulator, and there's one of the lenses, and here's the housing for that lens.
Yeah, I think he said this was for the fender car.
Yep.
Oh, he did find regulators.
Yep. And you got the spring for the deck lid off the same car. It's hard to believe.
Yeah.
And then another.
And the passenger side wing window.
Yep. And your division bars. And your division bars.
Oh yeah, those are hard to come by. He wasn't sure he would have those, so
he went digging.
Pretty cool. Thanks, Kevin, at Cool Rides in California, building those cool chassis.
Suspension stuff.
Yeah, he's got awesome suspension stuff. I'm gonna get this stuff put on the car. We'll get working on that and get our top working.
You got a little patchwork to do.
That's easy though. This mechanism though, it's impossible to come by.
Yeah,
that right there.
Yep, it's all there. It needs some PV blaster.
This is easy.
Yes.
Because I'll probably just take this and cut it up and make that.
Yep. Or just pull all that out, resell the roof skin, because that's another $800 you could put back in your pocket.
True story. Somebody looking for somebody thinks that's the easy way, and it's not. It's not at all.
No. You got to have the pieces to do the parts.
It's time to see if this little Volkswagen will start. I'll set you up right there. Should run good. It's trying. Well, it's another beautiful day in Havasu. It's cooling off. I know you guys have probably got snow, most of the people who watch here. We're getting ready to put the top in the VW. I got the rails in. I'll show you what I'm working on. I've been working on this this top unit. This thing's kind of a complex little deal. So this thing pulls, grabs, and then when it gets down there, it clamps. That thing was kind of hard to get working again. I had to do some welding on it. Use some of this rust converter to convert the rust. It was kind of rusty. Anyway, now I got wood splinters on my new top. Got it all looking groovy. We're gonna get this thing on today and get it working. I won't have the headliner in it, but I can put the headliner in after. So let's just get to it. Well, just like that, Kay stopped by for a minute. He helped me get this thing tightened up. Looks really good. Mechanism works good. It lays down nice and neat. This front lip rolls up just a little, but I don't think I can fix that at this point. But we're ready to move on to the exhaust. Oh, check this out, guys. We got door panels now. Got the door cards in. They turned out pretty good. They were very difficult to put on. I put a little bit of carpet in it. Working on the front seats and the rear seat. Shuts like a Volkswagen. It's looking good. Anybody killed in this wreck?
What's that?
Anybody killed in this wreck?
No, but the windshield's still original. The lady stopped driving it, and the car only has 18,000 miles on it. I pulled it out of her backyard.
Cool.
That's what I got.
You bringing it to our little VW gathering tonight?
Yeah, because you know, I had to chase down parts for you all this.
I'll see you there, Lucas.
All right, thanks, Merlin.
Take this old girl for a little road trip. It's running good. We're gonna go down to the In-N-Out Burger, and it's kind of a little drive-in spot, and meet all the rest of the Volkswagen enthusiasts. Show off my little car and see what they think. say, Jerry?
Yes, nice Merlin. Good, I like it. I love
Yeah, I got her together.
All right, I've made it down here to In-N-Out and Del Taco, and I'm here with an old pilot buddy, and I'm going to use that term loosely, but this is Jim Leverett. Jim, you got to tell me the story of this dang Volkswagen. Now, you know, I've heard it before personally, and I'm touched by it. Like, I love the story, but tell me the story of this little blue Volkswagen.
I was a teenager in 1963, and these were the rage. And why, I don't know, because fuel was 20-some cents a gallon.
So do you remember how old you were in 1963?
I was 17.
17. You were a teenager. You knew everything at that age, huh?
Yeah. Well, I paid $1,950 for this thing, and I had to wait 3 months for it. These things was a rage.
So everybody was getting them at the dealer as fast as they were coming in. They were going off the handle.
And so the guy called me and he said, "Oh, we had a cancellation, and we got one if you want it, fine, or otherwise get in line." It was this awful green.
Okay.
And I took it because I got rid of all my wheels. So 30 years ago, this thing was like a sand buggy. I mean, it was off-road. It was a mess. And we took it apart to the absolute last screw. This is the color I wanted. This is an authentic Volkswagen.
So when you bought this car, it was this ugly green.
Yeah.
But you took it because you needed wheels. And then this was the color you were waiting for? This was what you wanted? Yeah. Okay.
And so 30 years ago when I was living in Yuma, we ripped this thing. I mean, there wasn't two pieces bolted together anywhere. And we painted the thing and painted all the interior.
Okay.
And that's the way it is. It's
so
it gets driven about 1,000 miles a year.
So this is a one-owner 1963 VW. You told me a story about how your brother liked those dune buggies.
Well, at one time we used this car to break in engines that he built.
So he was building sand buggy engines.
Yeah, and we put them in this thing. This thing had probably 3 dozen engines in it.
And then you would break them in, and then you'd put them in sand buggies and take them out and tear them up.
Yeah, and then go out. And
so what engine is back in the car now? Is it
correct engine?
So it's the
40 horse.
Okay.
And I had a hard time finding parts 30 years ago.
Right, to put it back to original, right?
Well, everything that you buy in the Volkswagen shop was out of tolerance.
Well, yeah, because it's made in 19 different countries, right?
Yeah. Well, even most of it's all used.
So I got to say, Jim is he's quite the mechanic. He's built a couple of airplanes. How many airplanes do you think you've built?
Probably a dozen.
A dozen. So
well, all warbirds.
He has 2 airplanes they're beautiful, and I still want to ride in that Stinson.
Well,
no, that Stearman.
Yeah.
The AT6, he took me for a ride in that, and what a beautiful airplane it is. But he, what was it like to go through your Volkswagen 30 years ago? Like,
I could almost go to work for a VW shop.
You know all the tolerances. You know all the parts.
When I was in Yuma, one time I had 5 VWs, a couple bugs, and a couple of vans, and they weren't worth anything then. I've had I don't know how many people follow me.
Try to buy your car from you.
They don't know what it's worth. I had it professionally appraised 3 years ago for $22,000.
Well, I think that today is under. If you were to take this car to Barrett Jackson as the original owner and walk across the stage with it, I would dare bet it would fetch 50.
You know, it might, but I wouldn't sell it for that.
I know, you would never sell it. You've already told me that you want to be buried in this car.
No, I don't want that.
But yeah, Mr. Leverett, he used to zip this thing out to the airport, and I always admired it. And it always cracked me up, the stories you would tell me about you and your brother and building engines, because like everybody, they have a VW story, right? Everybody has a VW story.
I've got lots of VW stories.
I love it.
And I guess because I've had so many of them.
That's so awesome.
This thing, I don't trust it to go anywhere in it. I drive it to the airport.
Right.
I
You
towed
keep
up
it
to
local.
Kingman to get the front end rebuilt, and I tow it.
You tow it.
Yeah.
So my friend McKay, he says they're really good around town, but the second you try to leave town in one, they'll break down on you.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. So, you know, they tow beautifully.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you bringing it down. It's absolutely a gorgeous car.
Well, I've already got it in my trust for somebody.
That's awesome.
Or I
So,
give it to you.
so it's good. It's going to have a good caretaker. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's
Let's look at the engine.
it's a
Oh yeah, look at that. Everything's in its place. You put the oil bath air filter on it and everything.
well, no, that's a correct air filter.
Yeah.
I got rid of the. I put a 12-volt generator in it.
Uh-oh. I see performance parts. Looks like your brother's dune buggy days, that aluminum
That's
that
kind of
aluminum
handy
pulley.
to have, you know.
Yeah, for timing it?
Yeah,
Yes.
and uses a 12-volt voltage regulator.
Yep.
It runs good.
Yeah. It's a nice piece.
I bought this thing, and then I got hired with the airlines. I got based in New York. I drove this thing to New York. And
You drove this from where? From Yuma
yeah,
to New York when you were working. What were you doing for the airlines?
fine.
So were you flying commercial with people, or were you
Both.
okay?
Freight and
Oh, nice.
And I drive this thing to the airport, 55 miles an hour. The engine's racing. I got both hands on the steering wheel.
But when you were a young man, you were a
Oh
daredevil.
no, it was.
You were a daredevil.
Well, this thing is fragile.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, you can kick the bumper in.
yeah.
They're just really fragile.
But if you take care of them, they survive.
I stay out of parking lots. This thing is not allowed at Walmart.
Yeah, because they just door ding it up. It just
Yeah,
it gets
well,
beat up.
I took it out there and people crawling all over it.
Well, yeah.
Oh, kids. Oh, one kid said, I said, what would you do if I sold you this car? He said, I'd make a dune buggy out of it. And I said, if your dad was a trillionaire, he couldn't buy this car.
That's pretty awesome. I don't think if I was a trillionaire, I could buy this car because
Oh no,
I
wouldn't take anything for
I
it.
already know he doesn't need money. I know Jim well enough. He don't need money.
Well,
and this
as
is
you
pretty
get
cool.
older, you don't know that you don't need money. You know?
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm way past
yeah, giving a crap
I'm
on that.
borrowed time.
But yeah, this thing looks really good.
Yeah, it's I had a friend of mine in Yuma do the upholstery on it.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't want
awesome.
the original interior.
Yeah, no, I like the cloth. So how long have you owned this car?
I've owned it almost 5.5 years now,
How long have you lived in Havasu?
since 2002.
2002.
2002. The car was my former brother-in-law, Ron Ward.
Okay.
Yeah, he married my sister, of course, and the first time I saw the car, it was completely primer, brown primer. You know, remember back in the day there was gray.
Right, gray, brown, red.
Yep. So it was gray. No, it was brown. I'm sorry, brown. And then he was saving up money and getting his act together on what he wanted to do with the car, and we started just racing it at Orange County International Raceway. So the car was all stripped down on the inside.
So what size engine do you have in it?
Right now it's 2110.
2110.
So
It's got dual Webers or
44
okay,
IDFs.
44 IDFs.
And then when it was raced, it was a 1835.
Okay.
And so the car then it ran a 13 flat at 105. So that was really good, but it was completely gutted. And you weren't supposed to be able to go over 100 without having a roll bar and all that crap.
Right.
So the dial in, we'd ride a 1290 on there, you know, for up the tower.
Right.
They enter it and
then you come out and bust a. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I see you got fire extinguishers in the back.
You gotta have that stuff.
You got little Recaro seats with no headrests.
Right. You can't leave home without those. You have to have it.
You got the original ice pick door handles. Yep. So this is what year? It's a 55. So
55, yeah.
this is very close to my 56. So
and it's not a ribbed door like those guys say, you know, where the inside's
right.
You know the difference, right?
Yeah.
I learned as I went along with this, but
well, I've been learning too. So mine's got later doors on it, and I've just adapted them in. But yeah, it's there's a lot of little pieces. These 50s bugs, they're very difficult to build.
There's a lot to it.
Oh, they're so different than everything else. They're tough. I see you've got your original turn signal lights.
Yep.
So
so basically, Ron always said, he goes, Bill, when I go, you get the car. And I was kind of just, sure, you know, yeah. But then he passed away, and after he passed away, the car had to go into probate, and my niece and my nephew, you know, they got together and they said, you know what, we really got to follow through with what Ron wanted.
Yeah.
And they said, Bill, we're giving you the car. So it was painted when I got it. Ron finally went full street sometime after OCIR closed in 83.
Okay.
So I think in 85 it went full street.
Okay.
That's how it is now. But before that, it was just like, you know, Whittier Boulevard, Tweedy. It was like
wherever you can race.
Yeah.
Wherever somebody's throwing down $100 bills.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
It was like $20 a gear. There was all
$20 a gear, right?
You know,
$20 a gear. I love that.
We towed it with his 67 camper bus to most of the events that were like far out of town, like OCR, of course.
Right.
And so I've had a connection with this car since out of high school. I graduated in '77, and that's the first year I saw it. And I always wanted a bug, and so I ended up getting a '64 standard bug.
Okay.
And it just went from there. I kind of followed what he was doing. He was like my mentor. I ended up with a 1776. But this, like I said, this had an 1835. But back then, I don't know if you could buy stroker cranks or not, but he didn't. It was just counterweight.
Yeah, he always stuck to beefed up original 69 crank, and
German
then
crank.
yeah,
that's what he did. And that it was a runner. It really ran.
Well, it's pretty cool, Bill. I appreciate you bringing it out and showing it tonight and sharing your VW story. You know, everybody has a VW story. The VW stories go on for days, and it's pretty cool. I didn't realize that this was a 55 when Lucas was telling me about it, but it's pretty cool. So that's 55, 56 right there.
Awesome.
Pretty awesome. What are you doing? I need some VW parts. What are you doing? Is this the bus you drove by my house that day and threw your belt off?
Absolutely.
This is the world famous laundry bus.
He told me, he said I'm closed.
Ronnie's closed. So yeah, this is Ronnie. Ronnie's the ornery bus guy here in town. He used to put on buses by the bridge. Now you kind of turn it over to a bunch of people, right?
Yes.
So
I'm retired.
How many buses were there last year?
600.
600 buses.
600.
I'm telling you, you guys want to come to a show?
No, don't come.
Come to Buses by the
No.
Bridge. It is absolutely a wonderful show, clear full of hippies just like Ronnie.
We don't want to. It's
I'm
too
going.
crowded. It's too crowded.
I'm buying a bus just to come down and camp. Just to see if I can camp with a bunch of hippies. Anyway, thanks for bringing this thing out, Ronnie. We love this old bus. So this little car here belongs to Jerry. Jerry,
Yes, sir.
how long have you owned this car?
I've owned it since 2017.
2017. So every time I go to Ronnie's, this guy's over there washing bolts, sorting bolts, bolting things on, taking them off. He basically is, without you, Jerry, Ronnie would never get nothing done. All he would do is answer calls all day and bitch about the price of empty parts. Anyway,
I'm the heavy lifter guy.
You're the heavy lifter. Jerry's the heavy lifter. So what engine you got in it?
I got a 2021.
2021. So 2021 is 90.5 cylinders.
92 by 76.
So it's 92 bore.
92
So that's
bore.
like a 2180 type cylinder
Yes.
or a 1835 type cylinder. But
Well,
you
a lot
got.
of it's the thick walls. A lot of guys are running.
So you
those
you did
92
machine
thick
in
walls now.
94. So it's 94
90.5 in the case, and then the thick wall at the top
at the
is 94.
top. That creates the thickness, because otherwise
so
you
they
get
wore
that.
out the centers to put the 92 pistons, and you get the thicker wall in the center.
That way they don't
So
split.
they don't warp, they don't split.
I've split them.
you don't
I used to boost one of those motors and I split them like
Really?
pop pop pop. They go top to bottom. They become
man.
they just open up. So,
It's got forged pistons. It's got the raised crank or rods in there. I got
but you daily this car, like you drive every time I go to
Not yet.
Ronnie's. Every time I go to Ronnie's,
Just
you're driving.
started 'cause it's
So
the motor.
it's a rag top. It's an original rag top.
No, sir. It's a
So it's a cut in like mine. So yeah, we got a cut in. We're gonna get run over here, guys. Come on. You better be insured. Better have Haggerty. Better have. They're from Minnesota.
God damn it! That's who
Those are your.
my hood.
That's who smacked. That's how you ended up with a black hood.
Firefighter from that Minnesota did it. Right
The
there in front of
Minnesota,
the office.
the Minnesota people running Jerry's car over. Okay, so forged pistons, hot rod cam. I love it that it's got a grafted roof, because now, you know, mine's not a finished grafted roof, but hey, it's a grafted roof.
We could be Graft brothers.
Let me tell you how hard it is to put that damn top together.
It was
like,
easy. I watched the
whatever.
video at Grumpy's
I watched that
Metal.
video too.
I had no problem
But,
rebuilding it with the rollers. And all
Yeah,
that.
that's I'd love it. Anyway, I haven't put my headliner in yet, but I've got.
I ain't got
Oh,
one.
good. We're
I
the
ain't
no
got-
headliner.
I ain't got one.
No headliner roll. So, what year's the car?
The car's a 60.
Car's a 60. So, is this considered a short window car?
Yeah, small window car.
Okay, small window car. Sorry, short window car. So, this has a little bigger windshield than my car. So, as you see, the 55.
The 50s.
These electric cars just like, they sound like they're just going to run you over. They make no noise but tire noise.
alien spaceship.
Yeah, they're like whoa, 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 whoa. I wonder if they mess up my camera. So what trans do you have in it? You have a close ratio trans?
It's a pro stock, I guess, now, because it was a freeway flyer, and I sent it in and had to put in a super diff and then go through it.
Okay, so they call that a pro stock now, huh?
That thing.
So single freeway flyer, because I hear now they make this double freeway flyer. I don't know what that's all about. Yeah, like that must be for like tires this
Do
tall.
you get a 5-speed in it? Or
I know, you just get more and more gears, I guess, for those guys that have the really big motors.
Oh.
So how did you lower the car? What
I've got a whole CV 2-inch narrow
beam?
adjustable beam.
Okay, so but it's not on air. This is
No air.
This is static.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and it's IRS or swing axle.
No, it's swing axle.
So it's swing axle. So you got that cowl look going. You got the wheels pretty straight up and down. Looks good.
It's got a 1-inch trans raise. We did that too.
Okay, so by raising the trans, you recorrect the
Camera
angle.
just a little bit. I still got a little, but it was way worse before I put the trans raise in.
Now, once you raise the transmission up, you can no longer run a deck lid, or you got to bump it.
No, the deck lid is the carburetor, but
Oh yeah,
I've
because
got-
the Weber.
I've got a tin issue. I got to sort
Okay.
front and back.
So you're
once
let-
I sort that out,
Yeah, you're letting
then
the
I'll
cool
put
air
my,
in.
I'll standoffs on and I'll put
Okay.
the deck lid back on the car.
Um,
Plus, it's a new motor. Everybody needs to see it at least for a little.
Yeah, so well, you got a lot of time and money and stuff into that. So, look at the lighting in this car, guys. Like, he has got LEDs. That's actually a really good idea.
That is an underglow body kit thing that we got
Like an
off of
Amazon deal?
Yeah,
Like-
and it just happened that it fit the
Oh, I
four
love
bars
it.
fit the wrap.
I love it. I love it.
Changes colors if you want and all that too.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Or you can turn it to it'll play to the beat of your
So,
music and
that
stuff.
shifter, is that,
That's vintage Speed Mamba shifter.
okay. That's a good looking little hot rod shifter there.
I
What's
like
that steering wheel? That's,
That is Resto bus parts. I got it from them.
Yeah, that's a good looking wheel.
And I love the wheel, man. I like it because it's bigger. It's
So what are these seats out of? These are not factory.
Is it Scat? They're Scat, I think 90s.
Okay.
Or whatever.
And they're reclinable, right?
Yep, reclinable.
Yeah.
They're adjustable front. They slide and all that. Real nice.
Very nice. One-piece window.
Yeah.
No wing window. Cal.
That's how the car came to me with the.
Yeah,
one
that's
piece.
total Cal look,
I
right?
didn't
That's
do that.
that's how the California people did it back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah, that looks really good. It's looking.
Have the trim in the rubber no more. That's
Yeah, that's Cal look. Yeah, I got rid of that on mine because I just didn't want to fight it. It's just too hard to find good parts, and the new stuff you get, the retro, it just don't fit. Yeah, it's
just don't work right.
Yeah, it don't bend right.
No, she did it, but I don't know. It's not as good as the stock stuff.
Yeah, it's not worth the fight. So disc brakes anywhere? Drum brakes
Disc
still?
brakes in the
Disc
front, drum in the back. I'm
Okay.
gonna upgrade the back and then put a full circuit and stuff on the damn car.
Cool. Well, Jerry, I appreciate you bringing your car out and showing it, and I want to go for a ride in it one day.
First chance I've been able to get it out, man. To something.
Interview me. I said, you got to talk to my agent.
His agent's tough.
Show me the
So, you've seen this guy on my channel. He's done some woodwork in my. These electric cars sound like a spaceship.
Yeah, they do.
And it said go get them.
I've heard like 10 of them go by. Are we missing something?
Well, I just don't want to get run over by one because you know.
Yeah, you don't hear it. You'll be dead before you know what hit you. So this is Jim, Chico Jim. Did the woodwork in my semi truck. He's been on my channel a couple of times. So, you got a Volkswagen this year.
Yeah.
It's actually awesome. I love the patina on it. This is actually the first time I've seen the car. His friend Butch, who you've seen on my channel, told me about the car and I had forgot. And I called him today. So, what's your Volkswagen story? Why did you want a bug?
Well, I grew up with bugs,
Okay.
mostly buses, but I've always had VWs. And I was retired, bored, wanted a project. I talked to you about it.
Yeah, I was
I
looking
told you to
around
look
for one.
And then I changed my mind, saying, "What am I, stupid?"
Honestly, that when I looked at the text today, that was the last text.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've scrapped the bug idea or something. It was
Yeah.
like I don't need a bug.
What am I thinking? So anyway, then of course, I think Butch saw this on Facebook or something, and I'm like, "Well, it's burnt up. You can see the deck lid,
Yeah, caught fire.
And everything." And I'm like, "I don't want that, and I don't want that kind of project." So anyway, of course, we went over and looked at it, and then I told the guy, "I don't."
If you're going to look, you're going
Yeah,
to buy.
I know. It's who am I kidding, right? So I look at it and I kind of lifting up stuff and poking stuff, and I go, "This thing's got rust in the heater channels and stuff." And the guy goes, "Really? I didn't know that." So anyway, we negotiated on the price, bought it, and I'm working on it.
You've been
for
tinkering
about a year.
on it. So, are you going to replace the heater boxes?
What I did was
You patched where they were
I bought the kit that
a
is-
repair kit.
repair kit.
Okay.
The floor pans were rotted out from
The back
battery to right about where the seat runners are.
Okay.
And so there's patch kits you buy for that too. So anyway, I cut out the floor pan, cut out the heater channel. I replaced the heater channel, but it's not a functioning heater channel. It's
Well,
just
we
the-
live in Havasu. We don't. need
Yeah,
a
I don't.
heater,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I thought.
We don't. Did the heater ever work in them anyway?
I wouldn't know.
Well, so I grew up in southern Utah. My uncle had a Baja, and I don't really remember that heater really ever working. Like,
Yeah.
you could kind of feel some warm air coming out of the corners, like maybe it would defrost the
Yeah.
window, but it was not warm.
No, I know.
Like, it was. It did not work very good.
I grew up in Southern California, and they were there, but it's not like you're going to drive up to Colorado and enjoy
Right.
yourself driving through the mountain pass. You're going
Right.
to freeze your butt off.
Yeah, you better have a Carhartt,
Yeah.
some mittens, and.
So
So, what year is the car, Jim?
the 67.
Oh, 67's like the holy grail. Like it's the bug to have, is what I found out building mine.
Well, I got on YouTube, and you listen to people say, "Yeah, this is a good year," and the other people going, whatever. So I don't know.
So you have a 67. That's pretty cool. So what engine does it have?
It's everything's stock. It's a 1500.
So 1500, which is basically just a small bore 60.
Yeah.
Transmission stock.
Made in Brazil. The motor's Brazil.
Brazilian?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the car is too, to be honest with you.
Interesting. It well, it looks like it has all the U.S. overrider stuff on
Well, I saw some kind of on the data plate. I haven't really
So,
researched it, but I know the motor.
I noticed it has a sunroof. Does that all function? It's
The sunroof, all the mechanical works fine. I've did most of everything except I haven't put a headliner in. So, except for the gaskets and all the felt and everything, everything works.
Okay.
I just have to do the headliner.
Interesting. Very cool car. So, have you been driving it a little bit at least? Like,
yeah.
you hot rodded around town? It's kind of funny because I've never seen it, but I
You know,
see
I
you
got-
in your old truck still every once in a
Yeah.
while. But
You know, I got to go to the auto parts store or, you know,
yeah,
Home
well,
Depot or something.
it's kind of awesome because our speed limits in town are 35, 40 miles an hour. So it's like the perfect car for that,
Yeah.
right? As long as the weather's good. Probably summertime it just gets covered up.
No, this was just sitting in my garage the whole summer. Well, I was working on it the whole summer. Finally put AC in my garage so I can tinker in the summertime.
You put AC in your garage.
Yeah.
Boy, you're spoiled.
Well,
now,
yeah,
aren't you?
like kind of following you, girl.
I love it. Well, Jim, thank you for bringing this thing out and sharing it with us. It's very cool.
Glad to be here.
Alrighty, check this white Volkswagen out. So come in here, Dominique, and tell me about your hot rod.
That's a 66 ground up restoration
How long have you owned it?
since 2016, and I got it finished in 2017.
So everybody has a Volkswagen story. Why a Volkswagen?
I've been racing Volkswagen since the early 70s.
Like full on
Drag
racing.
stuff. Yeah, I still do. We kind of hold the record with my friend's car. We went 760 at 180 miles an hour. It's a super beautiful
760 in a Volkswagen?
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Does that have parachute?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Dominic, don't be modest.
Then I had a string of Dragon Slayer cars, and then ran unlimited street. I had 9-second turbo cars for the street. Stuff
Get her
like that.
done. So
And I built this car.
this is kind of your Havasu town car? What would you call it?
It comes out of Havasu, but it goes to California a lot.
Okay.
I have my trailer and I take it to California. I do the events there because that's where I'm from, and all my friends are all there.
So what size engine's in it?
It's a 2332.
2332, so big boy.
It puts out 218 horse. It's kind of hard to
So what are these carburetors are is that fuel injection?
No, it's
That's
48 IDAs.
48 IDA carburetors. Look at that. What heads do you have on the car?
They're CB wedge ports.
Okay.
Like I said, it puts out 218 horse on pump gas.
I love your license plate.
Yeah, it's the same plate that I had in California. Now that plate, my California plate's on my son's 67.
Okay.
So we both.
So it runs in the family. He's got the disease too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Volkswagen. This is a beautiful car. It's got really pretty white paint on it. It is straight as an arrow. Unbelievable. I was looking at the inside earlier. It's unique.
Yeah, it's
so
all body
is
off.
that a Bluetooth radio
Yes.
setup? So it looks like the factory radio, but it's Bluetooth.
And it's got the sub amp back here.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's got the speed.
It's the retro sound sub amp. And it kicks.
So
it sounds good.
that's the retro sound radio.
It's the retro sound radio. Then I got the Sony Explodes.
Yep.
In the
kick panel.
panels.
Yeah, very nicely done. Well, thank you, Dominique, for bringing this thing out and showing it off and sharing your VW story with everybody. I would love to see some of them drag cars and stuff that you're involved in. That would be
quite a few
would be pretty cool.
Like I said, I started in 72.
Wow.
So I've been over 50 years with Volkswagens.
Wow.
Mainly drag
So
cars.
you've been in the middle of the development of all the fast and big.
I was involved with some of the best guys in Volkswagen at the time. Dean Lowry was kind of like my mentor.
Okay.
I used to hang out at his shop in Santa Ana, and he was the nicest guy.
That's so awesome. Yeah, all that old talent is kind of fading into the woodwork. Like, you know, we're losing all that history of where this all came from. And
then I got involved with Roger Crawford at Heads Up Performance.
Okay.
And I was driving his pro stock car for a couple of years. So I've been around. I've been doing this a long time.
That's awesome. Well, it was nice meeting you, and I appreciate you bringing this thing out.
No problem.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
Alrighty guys, so I've been showing you all these Beetles and this bus down here at Ronnie's, but dude, check out this Carmen Ghia. So, what year is this thing?
71.
71. How long have you owned it?
About 4 years now.
4 years. So, Kelsey, right?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. So, I saw it had an AC pump on the back.
It's Havasu. It's hot.
Air conditioning. We put air conditioning in our boats here.
Yeah, I have a boat with AC in it.
So, you've got a pretty loud stereo in it. What do you got in it for stereo?
It's full kicker. We got almost 2,000 watts to the subs, 800 to the mids and highs. We got 4 6.5s, 2 6x9s, and 2 10-inch Solivaric 10s.
Is that so you can hear it over this hot rod motor? Because it sounds good. I mean, when it came in here, I was like, wow, that thing's got an engine in it.
Yeah, if we can't go deaf with the motor, we'll go deaf with the stereo.
I love it. So that's what you do in your old Bug. When the motor gets loud, you just put a louder radio in it.
I tried to call you.
So is this a static drop or is it air ride?
It's static. 4.5-inch yard beam, 2.5-inch drop spindles.
Okay.
And adjustable beam, so it's lower.
And this is a IRS car, right?
Yeah, it's IRS.
These are IRS.
Yeah. That's why my wheels don't camber in.
Yeah.
It stays vertical.
Yeah, the camber's just a little tiny bit built in, just to make them handle good. Well, it's very good looking car, and now when I put it on my channel, you're gonna have 15 million people want to buy it from you. I appreciate you bringing it down. It's awesome. Yeah, there you go.
I figured you ate everything in In-N-Out.
I did. I went in, I got me a cold drink and a burger, and look at Lucas here with his hot rod blue. Look at, dude, the patina is a winner on this car.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting story with this car.
So you guys have seen Lucas. He's come by my house and brought me many parts.
Poor guy.
Lucas,
I'm the last one here.
What's your Volkswagen story?
Well, I go farther back in Mom's womb, I guess you could say. My mom beat my dad in an off-road race, and that's what introduced me to
So
Volkswagen.
what was your grandpa's name?
Walt Lott.
Walt Lott. So then your mom and dad, they were very competitive.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Dad always said Mom had better equipment, so that's why he met her eater.
I love it. So what's the story on this little Volkswagen?
It's funny is me and my buddy went and put a swamp cooler in, and we had the swamp cooler in my old double cab, and we're up on the roof, and this car was behind a wood picket fence in the backyard behind another fence, and it had Bermuda grass growing all around it. And we went and knocked on the door, nobody knew it was there, and she goes, "How'd you see my car?" And we're like, "Well, we're working on the roof." And she peeks out and she sees my double cab, and she goes, "Do you like Volkswagens?" And we're like, "Yeah, that's why we're asking." So this car was her car. She bought brand new in '68 in Provo, Utah. Had everything undercoated and moved to Vegas 2 months later. Well, a year and a half after owning the car, she hit a pedestrian and she parked it. The windshield's still cracked from where her head hit it. It's not been changed. I'm the second owner of the car, and it has a little damage in the front, but when I got it, someone had raped a lot of parts out of it, and that's why she put it in the backyard. So it didn't have seats, it didn't have a motor. They just kept stripping it.
So you've literally pieced it back together. So what engine is in it?
It's a 1776 out of one of my off-road cars. Freeway Flyer trans from Daniel Artigas, narrowed beam, shortened rear axle trans. So it's a good cruiser. It's a fun little car, little 1776 and a 40 Weber.
So, your dad
Yes.
was collecting Volkswagens.
Yeah, he had some interesting ones. He had a 67 bus with 6-cylinder Porsche in it.
And also, he was given a fiberglass body buggy from Bruce Myers. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes.
And
I still have it. It's still
So-
in the crate.
it's never been opened.
Never been opened. Bruce signed the crate. Bruce and my grandpa were really good friends. My grandpa got the second Myers Toad, and he raced that. And my mom raced that. They finished 4th at the Mint. And my mom's hanging over the back of the car working the throttle, and my grandpa only had reverse left. And that's how they finished the Mint 400 in 1968.
Now that right there is commitment when mom's holding the throttle.
Yes.
So we can finish the Mint 400
Yes.
in a dune buggy.
And my mom was the first woman to enter the Mint 400.
Wow, that's
So-
history right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
That goes way back.
Way back. So yeah, I have a VW problem.
Well, Lucas, thank you for all the parts
Oh, no
and the
problem.
help getting my bug ready.
I'm glad you're out enjoying it.
And yeah, so what are we calling this? VW Wednesday?
I don't know. We should have some fun with it.
If the weather's good, we come down, we bring our Volkswagens, we have a hamburger. What do you say, Mr. Leverett? VW Wednesday. We get out on Wednesdays, we bring our Volkswagens down, we drive them.
Only if I can get the lights working.
Well, you need to get your lights working. We're going to follow you home, make sure you make it up the hill without getting ran over.
Perfect.
So I hope this was a great thing to bring all you guys down here and show you these cool Volkswagens. This is a fraction of what's here in town.
Yeah.
And
Every one of them's got a story.
they all have a story. Thank you for watching.